Hey, Rich.
Hi, what's up?
Oh man, I've got about 452 things going through my brain right now. And I mean, it's like a rubber ball in a concrete room. I need somebody to go talk to for a few minutes. Can you meet me at the gate?
I'm Rich Levene, and this is Meet Me at the Gate, where we're not just talking theory, we're tackling real world problems head on, driving solutions that supercharge productivity and team dynamics. Every episode is a journey towards improvement, empowering you, the manager, to lead with innovation and confidence. Join us to transform everyday roadblocks into highways for success.
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Better than good.
You sent me an email. I didn't get really a chance to read it. Something about car sales, was it?
Yeah, it was just a recap. I get a bunch of different emails where the market is, what's going on. It's crazy times. Interesting. We got to get our friend Paul Machine back on because in the email it said that August numbers were up. Are you ready for this? They were up 0.01%. So 1/100th of a percent they were up. So I mean, my world I'd call that flat, but I guess it would, in today's digitally driven world, we can splice and dice that's up.
Huh. Well, I caught a clip today. This is an interesting conversation because if I think I hear you right, you're saying car sales as a whole, is that new and used?
That was the wholesale average price. So the month of August, we're up 100th of a percent.
Oh, okay. I got the wholesale price. Wholesale.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it could still tie into what I saw today.
So what'd you see?
It was the car dealership guy. He's got one, and he's talking about the delinquencies are up 34% year over year.
Ooh, ouch.
Okay, that's just delinquencies year over year. Then you read down just a little bit further, and he starts talking about people with good credit scores.
Yeah.
They're up 84% since 2019
What?
delinquencies.
Jeez. We got Houston. We have a problem.
So it's interesting to me to hear that the wholesale, because okay, let's follow this for a second. What happens with the delinquency? They call the repo guy. The repo guy goes and picks it up. He takes it. Eventually, ends up at the auction, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
the trick would be is what is the auction inventory up 34% year over
No.
year with delinquencies?
No. No.
So I'm wondering where do these 34% or even the whole 100% of all delinquencies do they usually end up at an auction, don't they?
Yeah. So let's add to the problem. So June we had the CDK incident where a lot of the new stores weren't able to operate, franchise stores, because they said they couldn't sell because they relied on technology. You could sell if you wanted to, but it is what it is. It created a backlog or created some demand. And then July came along. July was stronger. And then August came along, and August was even stronger yet. And I'm talking these dealers. I told you I did some sales calls, and I'm getting ready to go do some more this week. And then at the sale this week, last week, these guys are on fire. They're like, their stores are hopping. They're busy. And I'm talking to them, and they're like, hey, we can't find cars. We can't get cars. We've got them sold before we get here. Or I bought last week and I've got them all sold. So we've got this pent up demand, but yet if delinquencies are on a rise, that's got to mean there's supply. Supply and demand's not matching right now from what I can see. I'm not an economist. I'm not Tom Contos or anybody like that. But damn, it's like, what the hell's going on? Is
Right.
it?
So yeah, go ahead.
No, nothing. It was totally irrelevant. It might have had something to do with pizza, but totally irrelevant.
Well, I don't know. I'm at different auctions on a regular basis weekly,
Yeah.
anywhere between three and four auctions a week. This week was off because of the holiday, but I don't know. I see this inventories numbers are about the same
Yep.
where I'm at. Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Inventory seems to be the same. The sale percent rate seems to be the same. The one thing that I do watch cars go through and they don't sell because the floor is too high. But you know what you told me, your first money's your best money. Well, 3 weeks later, that same car's still there, and each week these dealers are ruthless. I mean,
They are. It is. I don't know how to explain this right now because the last show we talked about a couple of cars where I said, hey, we had a group of cars. I think there were 6 pickups, F-150s. They're all the same. They're all yellow. And I said, hey, the market on these things today is 23.5. That's exactly what everybody wants to bid. And the rep was like, no, it's 24.5 is my number. Well, we cut them loose today. Sold all of them. 23,750. So how did it bump $250 from last week to this week? I don't get it. There goes the
That's
theory.
weird.
First money is the best money. So what did the rep know that I didn't know? But how did? I mean, it's only $250, but still, that's significant.
Wait a minute. Say the prior week it was 2250.
23.5. So 23,500. So today they sold for 23,750.
But he was originally wanting 24.5. Is that
24.5. He wanted another $1,000. And today he ended up cutting them loose for 750 less than he wanted last week, but it was 250 per copy more than we had prior. So it just doesn't make sense.
So
but the other thing, yeah, what's that?
Blowing a hole in our first money, best money theory.
And today, I believe was an anomaly because here we are. What we're talking about is the day after a holiday weekend or the sale right after a holiday weekend. Attendance was a little lighter. Car volume was a little lighter. It's the same way it's been everywhere. Now, maybe tomorrow, we're Wednesday sales. So tomorrow, Thursday sales might be picking up because people might have gotten back to their normal last summer holiday. But so it's really weird. And then historically, so if we turn back the clock and we go back in the way back time machine, back when everybody used to run factory sales. Remember, you had to have a factory sale?
Yeah.
We used to be able to predict the market really easy. And so let's start January 1 and go through December 31st. So January 1, would say the cars were warm. February, they'd be a little warmer. March, they'd get a lot warmer. April, whoo. By March and April, they were on fire because of tax money. And then it'd start diving. Memorial Day crash. It'd be flat all summer long. And then we'd hit Labor Day. And as soon as Labor Day was open, all the rentals are coming back. All the new models are coming out. And the market would start picking up again. And then it would crash it would die down again Thanksgiving through Christmas. And then we'd start the same cycle. It was predictable year after year after year, all the way up until Cash for Clunkers. And that started jacking everything up.
When did they change the IRS? When did the IRS change the date for the tax returns? What year was that? Do you remember?
No, I don't. But
Because
most of the people that get a refund, they'll file it in February, after they get their W-2 at the end of January, and they file it the first week of February. They got their checks. Well, depending, it seems to be later. But back in the olden days, they'd have a check by the end of February, beginning of March. And that's when the market would be hot all the way through March until the end of March. And that's when everybody had to start paying, and then it started dying off.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Have you noticed anything so far about this show? Like the little over-under thing that we talked about last week?
Yeah, you're doing really well. So I'm just waiting. We're going. We're.
It's been hard. It's been really hard. There's been three or four times where okay.
So it's on the top of your mind, then.
Well, So what you're saying, I saw on my end. It would be crazy, stupid busy January, up until right about April, and you're always. And then, to me, it was always the tax return money, and you could, especially by here, pay here guys. I mean, they would load up like crazy. Now, the smart guys, this was interesting too. I don't know if you saw this. Smart guys were loading up in November and December.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew a dealer out in Mesa, Arizona. I'm pretty sure he's still doing wholesaling. He would buy up in November and December, just sit on them and wait. And then he would take them all to the auction, wholesale them. And he was making, this is 25, 30 years ago. He was making $1,000+ a copy.
Yeah.
All he had to do is sit on it. He had the cash to float it. So it was like, hey, but it was a smart move. I'm like, why are more people not doing this? Buy low, sell high. Isn't that the name of the game?
Well, great question. So my first guess, when you say something like that, technology's messed it up. Because everybody's got a phone, everybody's got an app, and everybody knows what that car's worth 5 minutes ago.
Yes. Or they saw that one car that sold for 24.5 that was a yellow F-150. So now they're all worth that, right?
Yeah.
And and the person I'm picking on is actually probably going to watch, and he's a really good seller and a very smart guy. So that's more of us just trolling him and giving him grief. He's not one of those. But these dealers will come in. It's like, no, I saw one sell last week at Manheim, and it brought $45,000. So I think mine's worth $52,000. No. It's been completely repainted. It smells like a trout. It's got yellow dog hair in it, and it shudders at 55 miles an hour.
And the windows have that nice yellow tint.
Yeah,
That's
that's
my
coming
favorite.
off.
The yellow tint.
Yeah, and it's starting to come off.
No, it's the
So,
cigarette smoke yellow tint. Have you seen that in the car?
oh
Those are
yeah, but
disgusting.
that's not as bad as it doesn't happen like it used to. I
No.
remember I remember walking cars in the 90s in Phoenix, Arizona would get hot as hell. You open up the door and you about pass out from the tobacco smells. Like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
I
It gets
haven't. I
you.
can't remember the last time I opened a door like that and got knocked over that. Now the new trend is I've opened up a couple of car doors. I'm like, whoa! I just think I got a contact high.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah. I know
smoking
what you
something
mean.
different these days.
Uh-oh.
It's a little
Yeah.
more sour, sweet smell is what I would call it versus the that harsh
Traditional
tobacco.
skunk. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the wholesale and back to the auctions and retail and all these things that we're talking about. The inventory, I think, but here's the part of the story. So I'm in Missouri, you're in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm going to the same places, same guys, kind of the same cars.
Yeah.
Call it a circuit, a route, a routine, whatever it is I'm doing. And there's, like I told you a minute ago, the percentages are still the same, the volume's still the same. So what's changed? And why are we reading headlines? Might be fear porn or whatever you want to call it. These headlines that you're right. The world's coming to an end. Delinquencies are up 34%.
Yeah.
So
You're putting some fear in me.
yeah, so I mean, I'm sure that's a real statistic somewhere, but you
Somewhere.
go
Yeah.
down and you get dirty and you get on the ground and you're at the auction, you're at the dealership, you're in the transport parking lot.
Oh, there it is. Ding, 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 ding. For you keeping track at home. I was going to
Well,
troll you. I had it ready to come up.
I
I'll
know,
get you
man.
back
It's a
there.
good thing that I'm paying attention.
But I don't know what
But
the
the
over
transport
under is
parking
on
lot
tonight.
is a part of the physical auction.
There's
There
two.
are things that happen back there. What? He can't help himself.
So let's talk
Uh,
about rates.
yeah, rates. What do you got?
How much is it to not those kind of rates? I see you thinking your wheels are already going down the wrong aisle.
No,
The
I'm
feds
talking
are
about.
supposedly going to cut rates again. So
That's what everybody's
let,
saying.
so let's say they do cut rates. What does that do? So we already said that these dealers are coming up saying their sales are crazy. They're having troubles keeping cars in inventory. They cut rates. That's only going to drive up. That's going to increase demand. People are going to be able to afford it. I saw an article today too. I think it was on the um, CDG car dealership guy, and he was
Yeah.
saying he was talking about the different demands, and then how all these customers are at the peak of their budgets because they were buying when rates were high, cars were high, people are maxed out. So if rates start coming down, car prices are up, people might start trading cars in now. I don't know.
And I got a bigger problem because the what's the right word? Don't tell me. Hold on. It's called buried in your car.
Oh yeah, if they're buried or upside down. But if cars are coming up, so they paid another year now, right? So last year people were buried. So if let's just say, when
I
was the
know, but
peak?
these
When was
guys
the
are
peak of this?
financing. These guys are
20.
financing cars for 72 months, and they
I'm seeing
paid way too
84
much.
now. I'm seeing
Okay,
84.
1 year of car payments is not going to get into the equity of a car. I'm sorry.
Well, it
They're
depends
still
on what your
buried,
rate is. If you're at 19%, hell yeah, you're buried.
even if you're at 6%. There's no way it's 72, 84 months.
Depends
Really?
on, yeah, that's a good point. But let's just say 72 months. Let's see how smart we are. Let's see how dumb we are. Let's go down. Let's find out let's prove to everybody
Let's
how
listen to a
dumb we really
couple
are.
wackos try to talk about retail that have never been in retail. That's always
Well,
fun.
but let's mathematically try to figure this out and we'll see how stupid we sound.
Okay.
So let's say you got a 60-month car loan, and when did everything peak? Roughly what? January 2021? Is that about when everything was like sky high? So let's just use January 2021. It'll be easy. So 6 months is 5 years. That means January of 26, your note would be due. So we're 4 years. So you're halfway through. Yeah, you're still buried in that car.
I don't
Yeah.
think you start getting into the principal until the last year two, maybe. I mean, that's all interest up front forever.
And as long as we're talking about prices, maybe I can find a graph I can throw up here for people. I was at that round table and I was listening to a couple of experts. Dan Kennedy, he's a super smart guy, retired from GM. and then another guy, Brian McIntyre out of Canada. And they put a graph up and they got a hold of some data. And I believe it was originated from Cox Automotive. But it started I think the data started in the 1990s and went through today. And what it was a graph of average wholesale prices. And so 90s, it's really low. Then it starts going up. And then you hit, I think clunkers, it went up because people are coming back, and then it dives down, and then it goes sky high really fast and gets really high at 2021. And now the past, or 2022, now it's starting to come down. Everybody's like, oh no, car prices are crashing. But when you look at this graph, yes, has it come down a lot in the last 2 years? Hell yeah, it has. But compared to where it was before it started, it's not even close. We're still like, I want to say the number they were giving out is like 25% higher than it was before the pandemic, which is crazy. So there's still a long ways to go for that stuff to correct. But you know what? I'm just an auction guy. I'm not a freaking economist, nor do I claim to be.
No, but I think from what you do every day, from what I do every day, these are important things when you talk about things like forecasting or owning your own business or managing a company and managing a lot of people and being in the know of what's going on and talk. It's kind of like matching stories. I mean, 70 miles south of me, Springdale, Fayetteville, Arkansas, that economy is so night and day difference than where I'm at now, Joplin, Missouri. It's unreal. I mean, you'd think, what? I mean, gas price is different. It's 70 miles away. Up
It's
10 cents different.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, I mean, down in Houston, you've got a different economy than Fayetteville, Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
And so as we read these articles and as we try to sort through them, I'm thinking, okay, this isn't just Texas. This isn't just Arkansas or Missouri. I'm assuming these numbers are an average nationwide. Is that the right assumption?
Yeah. I mean, I think what you and I are talking about is globally, but we're looking at it from a local, or when I say global, I'm talking about national stuff. So we know the trends. We're just looking to say, hey, we're trying to match back. Is that what's happening in my local area? And
Right.
overall, I think it is.
Well, but I see my local area. I talk to car dealers. How's it going? Ooh, it's been really slow.
Are you serious?
We sold 16 last month.
Dang.
What? 16? Yeah. Don't you usually sell like 30 or 40? Yeah. 16?
See, that's odd because like right before Labor Day, I had a couple dealers coming in on Friday, and they were in to pay for their cars, grab their titles, get them out, everything. And I'm like, wow, So I struck up a conversation because these are the ones that we're seeing were the ones that are usually, I'm not going to say they're slow pay, but they're not as in a big as a hurry. But they wanted the titles in hand. They wanted to get their cars. They wanted them on their lot for Labor Day weekend. And I think from what I've been reading, Labor Day weekend was a great retail weekend. And my wife works retail. She's not in the car biz, but she works retail. And she said the freaking store she was at was packed to the gills. I'm like, where is this money coming from? Why? What in the universe is going on that makes people think they have a bunch of free money all of a sudden, or available cash to spend?
Well, then I've read another article that the finance institutions, the lenders, are really pulling back. I mean, they're like,
See, I saw another article where they're starting to loosen up, where some of the bigger ones are starting to buy deeper again, or they're considering buying deeper. I mean, I think the news is whack. So maybe it here as it is. So this is like what we need to talk about. We need to get Kelly on and talk. It depends on your algorithm on what feed you're looking at a news channel, right? So you might be stuck in an algorithm on your X account and your whatever. LinkedIn's not so bad, but X account that shows, this is going, dealers aren't doing well. Dealers aren't doing well. And I'm looking at stuff, and on my accounts, I'm seeing dealers are doing great. Dealers are doing great. That's all algorithm driven, which is weird because here we are in the era of smartphones. It's putting in front of you. And now, you know what? So my phone is sitting right here on my desk. It's listening to this podcast. I'm going to get off, and now it's going to give me a bunch of shit about how the car market is dying.
it's crashing, terrible.
It's crashing because you just said it and I repeated it. Now my phone heard it.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's bad.
Well, don't ask Alexa about Trump. Don't do that.
Oh, you just went there.
Well, you started.
I did not.
You
I
said
didn't
your
bring
phone's listening to you all the time, and it's going to, as soon as we get
But
done,
what
it's gonna
is
tell
so
you,
okay? So
what's
perfect.
Alexa?
What correlation does your phone listening to have to do with politics? Oh, I get it. It's because your smartphone starts feeding you what you want to hear. So,
Yeah.
yeah. You know what? I should have worn my T-shirt, my 1980s T-shirt. I love wearing to 80s parties.
What is it?
Instead, I wore this one tonight again.
Hey, look at that.
My microphone's away. Love the dealer. The one that says Reagan Bush 84.
Hey, okay.
But see,
Yeah.
now we're going political.
Yeah, we better get off that train. You know what happens? Everybody gets all hair on fire and running around and screaming. It's crazy. Uh, okay, so where are we at now? We've got
I don't have any
what you're
idea.
seeing. I think what we've got is be careful what you read. It may or may not be true. Stick with your people, right? The people
Yeah.
that are close to you. Take care of them. I think any reasonable person would understand it's better to be in a position of not being over leveraged.
Yeah.
Get your financial house in order. Doesn't matter. If you got things you don't need and you're not using, why not sell them? Get rid of them. Give them away. Probably pay down any debts you got and start saving cash. That's, I think, normal for any business, isn't it?
Yeah. That's normal for any business. But let's talk about, how we talk about solutions for managers at auctions or those transportation companies. Here's what I would take away. Here's the advice I would give. So whether you're Republican or Democrat, whether you're conservative or liberal, left or right, in the middle, don't care, male or female, you don't know, you've got to listen to the other side and learn how to respond and not react, right? Because we can learn. So one of the things that social media is doing is it's dividing us, and we're letting it divide us, which I think gets us down this rabbit hole. And I've given you grief about bringing up Trump. Trump shouldn't be a trigger word. It shouldn't be. What can we learn from what he believes in versus what Kamala believes in, and how can we get to a better ground? So at the end of the day, I would love to be able to, whoever I want leading my organization, leading my team, leading my country, whatever it is, by God, I hope you're able, let's pretend it's an airplane. I hope to God you're able to fly it. Because if I'm putting you in as pilot, I want to make sure the plane gets off the ground and returns and lands and doesn't crash into something. So that's the kind of leader I want, is like, do I believe in them? Do I trust in them? But you also you've got to listen to them and understand them and understand where they're coming from. Because if you only have one point of view all the time, I think you're going to sell yourself short. What can
You'll
you
probably
learn?
walk around mad all the time, every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
probably won't be good to your people. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had highs and lows today. I mean, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
And so I stopped a new employee and said, "Hey, how are things going?" "Oh, they're going." I said, "If I keep doing what I'm always doing and you don't tell me to do anything different and you expect something different, you're going to go crazy. You're going to get frustrated because you didn't tell me." And she looks at me and goes, "Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind." I said, "That goes for anybody or anything around here." I said, "The buck stops with me." I said, "I want to make this a great place to work. So if something's going on, let's come and sit down and have a conversation before we get where we don't want to go." But by now planting that seed early
Yeah.
and having conversations on a regular basis, eventually I'm going to hear before it becomes like a stickler or a thorn in your side. And then all of a sudden now it pisses you off, which happened to me today. I mean, how many times have I told you, like, we have all this heavy duty equipment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we hire special people, I hire special equipment to load and unload the special equipment. We don't
Right.
have the tools. Here it is today. See my team trying to help a buyer load up stuff. I'm like, stop. You can't be doing this, because I already know what's going to happen. And then I was watching. So not only give you a little scenario, the equipment they're using to move the other equipment, they let the other person stand between the truck they wanted it on and the equipment they're on. You can't see them. So I went out there, I stopped it, and I'm like, "Look, I said, number one, we're not supposed to, I want to help you. And the way I'm going to help you is I don't want you to get crushed. You were
Yeah.
smack dab between that piece of equipment, your truck, and we can't see you." I said, "So put it on the down. This comes to an end." I said, "I need you to do what everybody else does. Go hire some equipment, go hire somebody to do it the right way."
Oh, okay. I see now. Okay. So let's put this one a little more clear for
Uh-oh. I
Ty.
was probably
Ty.
terrible. All right.
No, yeah, it was
For
good.
Ty who? Ty the
Ty, the
Damn it. I was hoping for 3 or 4. I tried. I'm trolling you hard.
You're doing good. I like it. It's a challenge. So let's identify what kind of equipment was purchased. Let's start there. What are we talking about?
Something totally
Backhoe, a trailer, a semi, bus, skid steer.
an oversized piece of equipment with no wheels, no tracks.
Um,
It's an immobile piece of equipment.
oh wow! So you need a low boy with a big winch.
Yeah. Ideally, to do it right, you need a crane hoist.
Oh really? That bad?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that big. It was that awkward.
Oh wow. Okay. So the guy buys it. Has some kind of connection with the equipment. For a guy to stand there and buy it,
This
he might know
person,
somebody.
there you
You
go.
might want to park it in the backyard. You might think
Yeah.
he can make some money, whatever the case may be. Somebody that really doesn't have any business with this piece of equipment buys it.
Yep.
He's a customer. He's been to the auction more than once.
Oh, he's there every week religiously.
Okay, so we know him. We see
Yep.
him.
Yep.
This isn't a reoccurring problem.
Nope.
Or is it?
It's a
Okay.
first time buyer in
time.
the equipment sale.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully
He's stepping out of his comfort zone. Give him credit. Hey, go and try and doing something different.
yeah. Well, anybody that knows anything about heavy equipment moving it, to get a crane to come out there just to show up is on a good day $1,000.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, am I close?
Yeah. Well, without a doubt. Yeah. On the low end. If you're going to do it in under 15, 20 minutes, but you got the right equipment, the right guy, you know, right person to load it. I say guy, could be a gal, but whatever, it goes faster. So the lesson here is, you know, is we're constantly telling people, look, we got to be safe. We got to do the right thing. We don't load. We don't unload. We don't have the right equipment. So as soon as something happens, equipment falls off the forklift. Not good. You know, perfect example. I remember I called you up last week. Problem solved, but a driver had never moved a specialty trailer like this before that had all kinds of cool hookups on it. Hooks it up to his truck, starts playing with all the levers, drives down the street, and it falls off. Comes back and wants to blame us. I'm like, no, that's on you. That's your liability. You got to know. And so. Let's just say we would have helped him hook it up.
Now you got liability. Yeah.
Now we're in deep doo doo.
Yeah. Not doing that.
So unfortunately, you know, it's not that we don't want to help you. It's just that we got to make smart decisions.
Well, exactly. There you go. That's the right way to say it. I mean, driving a car out the gate that runs and parking it beside the trailer, I don't think that's a problem, right?
Yeah. So we've covered a mess here. Like,
yeah, we have. We're like everywhere. Whoa.
So
That's
we've covered rates, the economy, social media dividing us with algorithms, loading and unloading. What's our solution?
Well, for me, it's pay attention to yourself, keep yourself in some good shape mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Those are important. It's hard to be a good leader if you're not taking care of yourself. As you continue to work on those things, you should be able to lead a lot better. Take care of your people.
Self-awareness.
Yeah. Self-awareness. Yeah, it's important.
Yep. That's what I'd wrap it up in. Self-awareness. You got to be self-aware. You got to understand how your actions or emotions can affect others. And today I was frustrated with this guy. I was like, oh my God, you're here every sale. You know what we do, but it's first time deal. And I'm like, So I get back in. I give myself a little talk. It's like, that probably wasn't the best way to handle that one today.
Well, that gives you an opportunity to correct it next time you see him, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. It wasn't the actual buyer. It was his helpers.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's even worse because those guys really don't know what's going on.
No, they don't. And I basically was trying to look, I don't want you to get hurt. I want to help you. And the way I'm going to help you is so you don't get hurt. Yeah. I did okay. I could have done a heck of a lot better. So that's my opportunity for improvement. So it's like our motto we say, every day we want to be a little better today than we were yesterday. So I did a lot of things well today, but now I got a huge opportunity to go fix tomorrow.
Good.
And I'm human. I'm just like everybody else. I'm no freaking robot machine.
No, No, I guess that the thing. So some of my takeaways is talk to a lot of people as far as what's going on in the business.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're auction guy, transport guy, dealer guy.
Took me a
Right?
second.
I was like, come on, man, where you at?
I'm still mulling over my. I wasn't a snafu, but it was close. You know what snafu is? Do you know it's an acronym from the military?
Oh no, huh?
Situation normal, all up.
Oh,
That's what it means.
situation normal, all
Up.
up.
Yep.
I like
That's
it.
where snafu came from. Yep. Go Google that.
I'll have
Hey
to.
Alexa, ask
Oh boy,
Alexa.
I don't trust her. Not at all. Sorry,
Yeah.
can't talk to her anymore. I never did though.
I haven't either.
Never talked to her. Got Siri's shut off too. Siri and I, we do not get along. Whoa, that's really bad.
Dang, Ty, you got some demons coming out, some negative energy.
I know.
There's what I would say. So here'd be my takeaway. If you feel like, I don't know, maybe like you want to punch a hole in the wall, you want to go hit a golf ball 500 yards down because you're like got a bunch of anger in you, anger issues. I don't know, call it whatever. You feel a negative energy. Figure out a way to go really get rid of that negative energy in a positive way. And I've gone up to a couple people. I got a couple of people on my team that are incredibly positive, and I'm like, hey, I just feel like negative energy. You got to help me get it out, and they'll help me. Pretty cool. And so self-confession. So if anybody wants to go read my book, there's another over under. Let's talk about the book. I talk about a whole section there about how to think positive. I do some stuff. I fall down. I have to practice. I am habitually a negative thinker, and I can fall into it. Yeah, I can fall into it. And a lot of people, people that have met me in the last 5 to 7 years, don't realize that. But it's like I asked my wife, I'm like, how the hell did you stick with me all that time for the 13 to 18 years before I figured out I could be a better? And she's like, I knew you had it in you. She believed in me. There's given hope, right? But it's human beings have a negative, and there's times I'll start having conversations. So we're going to do a cool exercise tomorrow at work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So by the time this will be over by the time, so they're going to see it. So I'll have this out. We'll have the exercise. So I'm going to put them into groups of 3. I'm going to have them practice an exercise.
Okay.
They have to tell somebody. Let's use the loading example. We don't load equipment. We're going to practice. You have to go tell Ty, the transportation guy, that we're not going to help him load that. But you cannot use the word can't, won't, don't. No Cantonese. Hey, I'd really love to help you with that, but I don't have the resources, at the present moment. See, now I've just said I'm not going to do it, and I never said a negative word.
Right.
It changes the inflection. I even feel better thinking about it. I was practicing with a couple of people today, and it's like, that was another good thing before I went and did exactly what I said don't do. But it's like, how do we have a conversation with somebody when we're not allowed or we can't, speaking Cantonese, do something without saying that word? So we're going to start practicing it tomorrow.
How does hey, you dumb son of a bitch, we're not going to fuck with that shit over here anymore. I didn't use can't. Edit. Well, sometimes people understand that language better than they do being nice and other things like that. So who knows?
It's all good. So at the end of the day, we just got to learn how to not speak Cantonese.
No Cantonese and kindness. Be kind and no Cantonese.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Meet Me at the Gate. I hope the conversation has helped to fuel your drive and equip you with insights to steer your team towards success. Remember, the road to success is always under construction. And until next time, keep your engines revving and your gas tanks full.